What's up, music producers? Kevin Barnes at you with another beat. Making sure you guys learn something, not just with another beat, but another tutorial. I'm gonna call it tutorial. You already know I'm using luxury loops, so I'm about to first of all go in on a luxury loop and show you guys how simple it is to create music using luxury loops again. And also I'm gonna give you two tips, major tips that I learned from Rodney DarkChild Jerkins himself. Through his experience and from him at his studio, working at his studio. So get ready to go in on this luxury loop. Here's the loop. And I'm using reasons this time. Okay, so what I did already was I've added a loop, a drum loop already, which I pretty much liked, so I'm just gonna keep it. Here's the drum loop. Now, a lot of you might be like, well, why would you have that drum loop there and build some drums on top? Well, what I'm trying to do is I'm thinking transitions. I'm not just thinking a beat. I'm trying to think of not just where I can start, but where I can go, where I'm going. So with this one transition, adding another drum pattern on top, that's already two drum patterns that I can, switch between that, might work out to be something banging. So let's see how it works. All right, so what I'm gonna do is add some drums. All right, make sure this loop is on. All right, so adding some more sound. Alright, so pretty satisfied with the drums, and I always want my drums banging. So what I did was I added a clap and like an extra little sound on top, which is kind of something that, really just to add on. I never like to use one kick and one snare. You can always add more drums, like, 2 or 3 kicks, 2 or 3 snares with 2 or 3 claps on top. Start, doing different things with, with the drums that you have. And, you can turn those banging drums into harder hitting banger drums. You know what I mean? So let me get back to the beat. I'm about to add like a string. Okay, I like that. Now I'm gonna add like a bass line. I don't particularly like the bass sound too much, but I can go through and find another bass sound later. Okay, so I might add like some some hi-hats or some shakers or something, and so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna double this a couple times. Now go back to what I said in the beginning. I have 2 drum patterns to start off with, and that was the drum loop and the drums that I added. So what if I went back and took out all of the drums in the beginning, and then took out the drum sample in the second half, and then had it going like that? I would probably take out the bass line, take out strings, and go like this. So now what you're going to hear is basically one pattern going, for 8 bars, and then a whole nother pattern going for, another 8 bars. But I mean, it's just gonna sound different because I took drums out and added some drums in. So, and this is simple stuff. So here we go. Or actually, what I would do is I wouldn't have the bass line coming in. That part. Let me do that again. All right. And I'll probably add, that lead sound or something like that, to kind of even it all off and make it, more of a track. Now, that's basically how I would build, a simple track. And from start, using luxury loops. So, tip number 1 that I learned from Rodney DarkChild Jerkins. Now, the first tip was, when building a track, all you need, and this is the formula to creating a hit song, a formula to creating a hit, 2 to 3 distinctive sounds over a banging drum pattern is really all we really need. I mean, you no longer need 45,000 tracks for one beat. I mean, I used to do that myself. So, I'm not going to even come down on you guys because I used to do that myself. So, but you no longer need that. Now, you can just have, like I said, 2 to 3 distinctive sounds that can hold the beat down. Working with a songwriter. I mean, now they have options. I mean, now and breaking down the beat and having different things to give and to play for people, you got options. I mean, and it's always better to have options than, just one track. So that's tip 1. Now, tip 2 is when you're working with songwriters. For those of you that's working with songwriters, and here's the formula again to creating a hit song. And this is from Rodney DarkChild Jerkins and his establishment and a couple of A&Rs over there and everything. They told me that when you're working with a songwriter, have the songwriter write to just one melody for the whole song. And then you build the beat on top of the song when the songwriter is finished. Now, of course, that sounded crazy to me too. But, again, a hit maker is telling you a hit making formula. So, that's something that you might want to pay attention to. If you didn't know that, then, use that. If you did know that, then congratulations. Keep creating those hits. If you don't have luxury loops, you know what to do. Peace.